as it will have the 5 red lights on here in Texas. On the right as DZ Racer leads us up into turn 1. Up the hill he goes, few on the inside. Not close enough to go for a move on the V car, but down the inside goes a Red Bull of Ansu, spins off the wall, and that's Ansu out of turn 1. What has happened, Ansu? Immediate VSC, and I'm not quite sure what's happened there, Ansu, at all. NMX James gets through, but that was very in the third final round. And he'll be the first WHF driver to be crowned as champion this season. Tier 2 and Tier 1 yet to be undecided. And DZ Racer has spun under the safety car. Oh my lord. And now he's looking to drop the hammer and escape down the road from James. But James still not too far behind. Majin now promoted to P3 on those hard tyres, so we'll keep an eye on him. Potentially doing the reverse strategy is Nuki Lad looking on the inside of Sci-Fi Mega Hype as they go side by side through turn 1. And Sci-Fi still keeping it ahead of Nuki Lad. In the background we've got Raheem battling with Adobo. Is Raheem getting through on Page? Page gotta use some of his talent as we know he has. As Majin out on the rear of MB here on lap 10, and surely it's a slam dunk move for the Mercedes as it's a yellow flag out for Page, and Page around in sector 1. Heartbreak for Page, who and made a little mistake there, and now Nuki Lad down the inside of turn 11, and surely we'll have DRS as DZ Racer picking up a time penalty as he exits behind Sci-Fi, and that's not going to help DZ Racer as Nuki Lad does have DRS to defend from RJ. As DZ Racer now, 3-second time penalty, certainly not going to help him in this race. But following Sci-Fi Mega Hype here. As both Few and NMX James come into the box for their one and only pit stop. As DZ Racer now in ahead of Sci-Fi Mega Hype. And makes that move stick. Can he use the pace that we know he has? The pace that got him on pole position. Trying to make James, or trying to force James into a mistake as Ash and Creamy Flaps now battle through turn 12 and through 13. A switchback is on the cards for Ash. Can he hold it together as Creamy Flaps still trying to defend the inside, as Ash now looking for another switchback, but Creamy Flaps trying to park it on the apex, but Smoke and Ash, a lovely move, a lovely switchback. Can he nail it? Creamy Flaps, though, lovely defense though. RJ appears to be struggling the most out there as Ash now going to pick the outside of Creamy Flaps. Side by side they go into turn 12 as a switchback on the cards for Ash. Creamy Flaps tried to defend as best he can. Ash now round the outside. Oh, big contact. And as Zampa played the Thug Life, Creamy Flaps has let through Ash after having contact with the Mercedes. I think Creamy Flaps admitting his mistake there. But Creamy Flaps up in P8 having a strong race, but a little bit of contact with Ash. Gets right up to the gearbox. Exiting turn 11, and DRS will be enabled. Will Raheem fight this hard? It is kind of a question. We haven't seen them come together too much this season, as Raheem is going to try and defend here. James, though, back down the inside, side by side into turn 12. James cleanly down the inside. And Raheem now, I think, on heartbreak for the Aston Martin driver there. As Raheem all over the rear of Ash. Raheem on the outside with DRS going to surely comfortably get ahead of the Mercedes driver. Meanwhile, it's Majin on the rear of MB, and Majin and dusted into turn 12. It's just a matter, does Majin have the pace and clear air to build a gap to MB to pick up another consecutive podium for Majin, as MB has Duba a little bit of a swapper on exiting the final corner. But now with DRS surely going to get ahead of Creamy Flaps, and now into P10 goes Dobo as Creamy Flaps now. And the second round of the season, but wasn't able to keep it going as Dobo tapping the rear of Sci-Fi. And meanwhile, Creamy Flaps battling with Northy. Northy on the inside of Creamy Flaps and gets ahead of the Aston Martin driver. And this damage from the Aston Martin is just costing them further and further as Northy now into P11. And with DRS engaged as Page picking up a 3-second time penalty. MB now down the inside of Majin. Side by side they go. Majin going to try and outbreak the Haas drivers. They still battle through the middle sector here. And MB gonna have to wait another lap to try and get this move done. Meanwhile, Raheem on the rear of Nuki Lad, trying to put some pressure on Nuki Lad as he tries to desperately hold on to P5. MB now into turn 1 on Majin. Side by side they go through turn 1. Can MB get round the outside? Majin on the inside. Can he find the traction as we don't get the best of camera angles? But MB side by side we go through turn 1 and 2. Majin goes a little wide and MB round the outside. Majin dances round the outside again. And Majin somehow holding on to the position. As down the inside, MB will go and surely have DRS to make this move stick as little Majin tries to stick it round the outside. But I'm not sure Majin knows where the detection point is as MB will still have it here. And now with DRS, can MB finally get this move done and dusted as Majin's going to desperately try to hold on, but just does not have the straight line speed, and there you have it. Will be able to call himself a winner as he rounds the final corner and wins in Texas. Meanwhile, LMX James will round the final corner, and for the first time, he'll call himself Tier 3 champion as James finishes P2 and does enough to finish ahead of Raheem and win the championship for himself as MB finishes ahead of Majin. Nuki Lad in P5 as Raheem will chase after the Haas driver, but it's all for naught. The championship is done and dusted, and James is your Tier 3 champion. Raheem fought well here to round 10.